see before you is a 2021 BMW 420d X-Drive M Sport Pro Edition Coupe in Dravit Grey Metallic. That's a hell of a title, and I'm going to be honest, I think it looks pretty damn good. I think most people have gotten over the controversial grille at this point. They've got the new 7 Series split headlight design to complain about now. This paint's quite interesting because in most lighting it looks like a solid grey, but when the clouds break and the direct sunlight hits, suddenly a rather lovely gold metallic fleck seems to appear from nowhere. The side profile is a little flat in comparison to the old model, which had a bit more sculpture to it, but it's a pretty sleek looking thing overall. Especially with the contrasting black elements, the black wheels and the sporty red brake calipers. The M Sport Pro Edition gets nice darkened headlights and taillights, making it look all the more mean. The interior on this 420d is a bit of a sea of black. Personally, I prefer a lighter leather colour to brighten up the cabin, but this one does have a sunroof, so that helps. It's also got the M Sport colours stitched into the seatbelts, which is a nice touch. The interior quality is generally very good. Everything feels solid, there's no squeaks or rattles, and it's got a great steering wheel. I love BMW steering wheels. Although a sad fact of reality is that the lovely soft leather feel of the brand new wheel does fade away after a few thousand miles. This car is kitted out very well, with the Harman Kardon speakers, a heads-up display, and a heated steering wheel. However, there is one very infuriating omission. The high beam assist has not been specified, and the ridiculous thing about that is that all the hardware is there, it's just been disabled in the software. So when you press the button, you get a message telling you could have had this feature if you weren't such a cheapskate. There's a digital display, which, as many other reviewers note, is probably a bit underutilised, but it does look nice. Particularly when you put it in sport mode and everything just looks that little bit cooler. I also love the satisfyingly large number telling you what gear you're in when you're in manual mode and using the paddles. The heads-up display is also great and really handy to have the speed limit shown to you. The infotainment system in this car is great. I won't go into detail because there's a million videos out there on BMW's iDrive, but rest assured it's just great. It has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and also the Spotify app, unlike the i3S I recently reviewed. Check that video out below. Where the i3 does have the 4 Series beat though, is in terms of practicality. Maybe that's surprising to hear. The trade-off for the sleek coupe looks are the ridiculously long doors, which make getting out very difficult in Tesco car park, and also the boot, which is pretty small. But this is where the 4 Series Grand Coupe comes in, which solves both of these problems since it has 4 shorter doors and a hatchback, and I can tell you from experience it's way more practical. So now onto the driving experience in this car. I've got to be honest, I have mixed feelings about this particular car. This is a 187 horsepower 2-litre turbocharged diesel. But it also has a 48 volt mild hybrid system with an 8 kilowatt electric motor. That's around 10 brake horsepower, which can give you a little extra boost when you put your foot to the floor. Now there's nothing wrong with this engine, and it's not slow, but my problem is I've been spoilt having had the previous generation 430d, and once you experience the 30d's sublimely smooth and effortlessly powerful 6-cylinder engine, it's difficult to go back. And this feels a little bit weak and a little bit not so smooth by comparison. The other issue I have with this car is the brakes. It's not that they don't work, they really do. The slightest touch and you're peeling your face off the windscreen. But the grabbiness combined with the regenerative braking effect of the hybrid system make it really tricky to come to a nice smooth stop. And this is made worse by the start-stop system cutting the engine as you slow down. Other than that, the car drives amazingly well. The suspension is well balanced between comfort and sportiness, and of course it's adaptive so you can change it with the driving modes. The steering is great and the ZF gearbox is the best in the business. The X-Drive system combined with the slight lack of raw power mean there's very little risk of the rear breaking loose. In fact, you'd have to try really hard to do so. What this car does very well though is long distance. This thing will eat miles. It's an incredibly refined and comfortable long distance cruiser and will return easily north of 50 miles per gallon on a run. When you put it in sport mode, you get heavier steering, sharper throttle response and firmer suspension, and you also get this fake engine noise pumped through the speakers. And the strange thing is, even though you know it's fake, it still makes you feel like you're going faster, and I don't hate it to be honest. All in all, this 420D is perfect for the thrifty show-off. You want those sporty coupe looks, but you do a lot of miles and you want to make those pennies go further so you can spec the high beam assist next time. And by its very 4 Series nature, it can deliver an enjoyable driving experience on those occasions where you fancy a more spirited drive. So it's a pretty great all-rounder. Thanks for watching.